G'day, Finn Roo here. How you doing? So here's a bit of an update on my brewing processes. First, oh, I forgot my bloody paper. So I will try and remember. A couple of shout outs to start. Is the first one is from Stoneyardvinyard, Stoney. I think his name is Don. He's an American fella, lives in Buffalo, I'm pretty sure. He has outstanding videos about brewing beer, and he just loves to brew beer. I mean, he's brewing. He's got, I've seen he's got 3 or 4 big carboys bubbling away on the shelf, and he's really doing it. He really loves it. He loves to do the home brew. So there's a shout out to Stoney, and I will leave a link down below about his channel. So if you haven't seen, he's a character. There's a little bit of comedy in his in his videos, which I just love. Him and his good wife, they're a team, and they just yeah, they just make they just love brewing. Yeah, so sorry I started there, but yeah, I love that channel, and I always comment on it, and it's really good. And the other, really good actually. Yeah, cheers, Stoney. Nice work, mate. And the second quick shout out is Captain Bailey's Adventures, which is another channel that is a kind of a small channel, but I really enjoy catching up with him and seeing what he's doing. And he's brewing, same as me and Stoney, and that just brewing beer without any whistles and bells and making really good beer. He also likes to smoke a pipe, a legal pipe. He's got that. Yeah. And what I really one of his shows that I really enjoyed him doing is his walks in the woods, because of those of you that know me will know that I have chronic fatigue, and when I used to, with old Finn when he was alive, go walking the hills, the Port Hills, for like 4 or 5 hours every second Sunday or Saturday, I miss that. I really do. And so Captain Bailey, he's out there, he's got his pack on, and away he goes, and he's out in the woods, and he's showing us lakes, and he's showing us his area, and I just love it. It's fantastic. And his brewing, he got an award for a 3rd place or something in a brew competition, which is absolutely fantastic. So congratulations there, Captain. Smooth sailing. Yeah. All right, so that's really good. So what I wanted to do is to move on and talk about my latest brew, which was my dark ale. So this year what I'm concentrating on is dropping the alcohol content of my beer. So I've decided to drop everything down, my dark and my pale, down to 4 or just under 3.8 to 4%. And I'm pretty sure that with what I know about brewing beer, g'day Roo, yeah, what I can do is make a good beer at that percentage. I don't think I need to really do the 6, 7, 8% beers to make a good beer. As nice as they are, I think for the summer, we've had a very hot summer here in Christchurch, and I tell you what, yeah, I just don't want to drink that alcohol. I just don't want to do it. Yeah. You know why. So this is the last one, which was Panic Attack. This is I actually carbonated this in the bottle, so I put a carbonation drop in the bottom, and when I finished filling my keg up, I had a couple of bottles to spare, and I just threw it into this, and they were sanitized, but I didn't didn't take too much notice of it. They could be oxidated and things like that. It was pretty spare of the moment things, sort of a bit of a quick rush around. But anyway, so I just left it here on the bench in all weather, in all heat. So it went through the sort of probably 40 degrees in here, down to 20, down to 6, and back up again. I left it in here for a couple of weeks and threw it in the fridge, and we'll see what's happened. So here it is. This is the Panic Attack. This is my dark ale, and probably if you were going to put a style on it, it would probably be brown ale, or dark mild, and I'm picking the dark mild at 3.8, sort of 4%, I think. So, but I don't really care. We'll see how we go. Out of the keg it was good. So this is the last bottle, so let's just have a wee go at this. If you can see that, I'll put it here, and Alright, no bubbling up. No bubbling up, so that means no ooh. Nice, nice. Thick creamy head. Let me just put this bottle down. Oh, and that chocolate that I got, you know, I've drunk the keg is, oh, it's got a nice, like a rich chocolate. And can you see the bubbles on that? They're really tight. There's a couple of big ones there, but it's basically frothy. So that's only been like a couple of weeks just sitting on the bench, and I didn't, you know, didn't control the carbonation of it, and I just put it in the fridge for a week, and look at it, it's beautiful. It's dark, got a beautiful head on it. So it's got chocolate, but it's quite a complex chocolate, and this is 3.5 gram, 3.5 kg of American ale malt. It's 350 grams of light crystal, 200 grams of brown, 200 grams of pale chocolate, and 200 grams of roasted wheat or dark wheat. You see that? That's nice. That's got a nice head on it there. It ain't going anywhere. It would probably be better than that. And of course, my carbonation, I stuffed up the carbonation on my other the keg version of this because I overdid it, and it pissed me off because before it got over carbonated, I thought this is the beer to win all beers, the one beer to rule them all. So here let's dive in, as they say. It's absolutely beautiful smell. The lacing is great. Carbonation is not over the top. I just love that. That's a beautiful and smooth beer. When I say it's about the smell, I say it's complex. It's not just chocolate. I have a terrible. I don't have a good palate or good sort of smell, if you like. After a hot day, who does? Yeah. But it's quite a complex. Sorry about that. It's quite a complex aroma, and I really love it. It's really, really nice. And so that's a simple. If you you want to rewind it, but if you want the recipe, and I used an SO5, so I salvaged the SO5 from the previous brew and did a yeast starter, and yeah, it's fucking great, mate. So when it comes to making, when it comes to brewing beer, the advice that I would give to people is make sure your yeast is really good. Healthy yeast is key. Healthy yeast and fermentation temperature, those are the two things that you can have any kind of a recipe you like. You know, a lot of people will say, they'll tell you, oh, I haven't quite got the recipe right yet, but that's not quite true. You can have a recipe that's sort of any recipe, actually. If you've got your fermentation temperature right and you've got your plenty of yeast that's going off and it's hitting the wet running and it's really healthy and it's really enjoying itself, but being controlled at the same time, you're going to get a really nice beer no matter what your recipe is. So take care to do that. Yeah, cheers. I'm enjoying this beer. This is the last bottle. So I had two bottles that I because when I with my beer, what I do is I do I think it's about a 21 litre, and so I will put 19 litres into the keg, and then I usually have about a litre over, so I might get a couple of 500 ml bottles left over, and I'll put them in with a carbonation drop, and I'll see how they go. So, and actually they're bloody good. So I want to actually up my production a wee bit, but that's what I've been doing. I'm brewing tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm doing my pale ale, which is very simple. Once again, simple, and I've harvested the yeast once again, and it's in the fermentation fridge at the moment at 19 degrees. As so is the wort that I've prepared for that brew, which is a kilo. No, it's not. It's 100 grams of you know, that sugary stuff. You know what I mean. It could be any sugary stuff, and some yeast nutrient, and also so I boiled that all up and done it, and it's in there with the yeast, and it'll be 19 degrees. So tomorrow morning I'm going to make my starter up, and as you've seen before, it works really well. I just do it first thing in the morning when I come out to do my brew. So in here, what I've got is pretty much the same as this dark beer, but it's just my pale version, which is 3.5 kg of American malt, 350 grams of light crystal, same. 200 grams of brown, same, and I've got 200 grams of wheat malt, and that's it. That's what I've got, and and I can use any hops that I want. If I want to make it really hoppy, I just throw in extra hops. If I don't want to make it very hoppy at all, and I want to have more of an English style, then I just put a few Fuggles or East Kent Goldings or whatever. But if I want to really hop it up, maybe I might put some Cascade and some all that other sort of very elaborate sort of hops that people like to spend their money on. So Citra is another one. So I don't use a lot of those hops, but I have used them before, and I do like to have a bit of fun with them. But for me, a beer is a beer, and I do enjoy it, and I get great results. They taste so good, and this one is really outstanding. Actually, I can't fault it. There's no off flavors in there. It's just and on a hot day like this, you don't want to be. You just want to sit down and in the cool, in the shade, and just sup away at your home brew and just think, yeah, I made this myself. Yeah. And I think that's all I've got to say. This is a bit of a longer video. I did have a bit of a mishap at my last brew day. What happened was I knocked over my hydrometer and glass, and it smashed the top off. And I went, oh, well, that's a bugger. Never mind, I can still use it. But then 20 minutes later, I knocked it over again. It's completely smashed it to pieces. So I couldn't take a hydrometer testing on this, but I know my brewing method. I don't actually really need to take hydrometer testing because I know what it's going to be. It's going to be within cooey, isn't it? Cooey. Okay, so yeah. So I bought a new one today, $10, and Jared at the brew shop said, don't worry, I'll wrap it in bubble wrap, so at least you can get it home without breaking it. I said, thank you so much. So good. And so that's that. That was the mishap from last week. Really enjoying brewing my beer. Really enjoying my YouTube. So if you like, follow me along in my quest to make the perfect beer. Please like and subscribe, and hit the little bing, the little bell. And yeah, cool, come along. I'll always answer questions or anything, and if you're having trouble with your beer, please ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. And if I can't answer it, I'll put you on to someone who can, and that's how we learn. So cheers. And the hops are growing really well. Very hot here in Christchurch, and we've had water restrictions, so I've had to follow those, but I do have my own little water reservoir out there that I can get extra water and put it on. So without waffling on anymore, I'm looking forward to brew day tomorrow, yeah, for my pale ale. So listen, guys, cheers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, take care.